All right, I want to officially welcome you. We're here to talk about you and you turning on your power to attract more abundance and prosperity in your life. And right now, if you saw my office, you would see I have two computers right in front of me and my phone. We are on YouTube, we are on Facebook, we are on Instagram, all at the same time. And who said you can't be in multiple places at one time? And I want you to just think about that for a moment. You know, the truth is, where there is a will, there is a way. Now, I want you to think about that as it relates to your current financial situation. If you have a desire, and I suspect you do, or you wouldn't be here, there is absolutely a way. So that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk today about the power that's within you to manifest your every desire, whether that happens to be abundance or prosperity or something else that you desire. So here's what I'd like to ask of you. I'm here to give you the best of what I've learned as it relates to this subject for the short period of time that we're together from the past 43 plus years of study. And I would like for you to be fully engaged in this event. And what I mean is, I would love for you to be interactive. So when I ask you a question, as an example, I would love for you to write your answer in the chat box, whether you're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, wherever you may be. I would love to know that you're here to be interactive with me. Now, the reason why I'm asking you to be interactive is because you're going to get so much more out of this event. Now, I believe you showed up here for a reason, right? So tell me, are you willing to be interactive with me today? Yes? Yes, yes, yes. Are you on board with that? So type in the chat box, let me know, because I'm going to be asking you questions. I will be giving you some suggestions, and then I'm going to ask you for feedback as well. Feedback, because we're going to get into the heart of you, the heart of the matter as it relates to abundance and prosperity. So I'm seeing all kinds of absolutely, some yeses. Yoo-hoo, let's do it. Let's go. All right, great, great, perfect. All right, super. Now, what I also suggest that you do is take some notes. Make sure that you take some notes as we're going through this, because you're definitely going to get some value out of this. But here's what I want you to also know. Yes, I have been in the personal development field for many years. I've been running my business for almost 30. I've been studying for well over 43 years, about 43 and a half at this point. And I will tell you that I have completely transformed my life in every way for the better. For the better. And the only reason why, and here's a hint, my friends, is because I invested in myself. Now, how many of you have invested in yourself and you found that you received a really positive return? Type in the chat box. Or how many of you understand that by investing in yourself and following through, that's an important part of it, and follow through, because follow through is essential, that you have or are experiencing better results in your life? Yes, 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 absolutely yes. Okay, so I know that you don't arrive at a place of having prosperity, of being a millionaire by accident. None of it happens by accident. Sure, there are some people in this world that are known as unconscious competence. What is an unconscious competent? That is someone who's actually manifesting, and they're not even aware that they're manifesting. They're not even consciously aware how they're manifesting, but they're manifesting. And do you know that is a tiny, 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 tiny fraction of the world's population? But do you also know and realize that a greater percentage of the population has the potential to be living in abundance? Did you know that? It's absolutely true. And even as you're hearing that, and even as you're hearing it through your ears, as I'm sharing that with you, you may not even believe it. You see, your beliefs are going to produce your results. So what I'd like for you to do is suspend any disbelief right now. Understand that if this woman who was raised in a very, very poor environment, and I say poor, I mean, my family lived in a tiny little 600 square foot home. I mean, we're grateful for the home, but lived in a tiny, tiny little 600 square foot home. There, I'm the youngest of four. I shared a little tiny bedroom, and I know my walk-in closet is bigger than this bedroom that I shared with my two brothers and my sister. And my sister and I slept in this tiny little bed, and my brothers were in bunk beds, and you could barely get between two beds. And my parents had a heck of a time making ends meet. Even though they both worked, they both had jobs. As a matter of fact, my father had 3 jobs, and they worked their butts off. And they did what most people do, work hard, right? That's what they were taught. That's what so many people are taught, is that you work hard and you're going to reap the rewards. But it's not a matter of working hard. Working hard is valuable, sure, but you want to work smart. You want to work effectively. And that's what I can guide you to do, is to work in harmony with the laws of the universe so that you are effectively and easily creating the results that you want. So in my experience of being a young woman, being raised in that environment, as a teenager, I started to accumulate debt. I was 19 years of age and had 5 credit cards, and they were all close to the max, or they were maxed out. 19 years of age, I owned nothing. I had a job, yes, because my parents had great work ethic and they taught me about great work ethic, but I was miserable, and I was not only broke, I was upside down financially. And so I met this wonderful speaker, trainer, mentor by the name of Bob Proctor. And I went to a seminar. And at that seminar, he said a number of things that really shifted my thinking. And that's what I am planning to do for you. Share with you some things, epiphanies, if you will, that absolutely modified my thinking and put me on a brand new trajectory. Now, you're on a trajectory right now. What's a trajectory? That's a direction. You're going in a direction right now. Now, whether you're consciously aware of that or not, you're either heading for worse results or you're heading for better results. Now, before we logged on here today, I could see that we have a number of folks that are already members of our Club Achieve program. I see that we already have members here that are part of our Skipping Levels program. And this puts a big smile on my face when I see that people who are already invested in themselves, because that's who you invest in, are here learning more. And you know what? That's exactly how I became. And this is how I transform my life. So to think about coming from a place of being overwhelmingly in debt to a place of prosperity, being a millionaire, I can say that it's absolutely possible for you. It's possible for anyone. And it doesn't matter where you live, what your background is. I have a pile of report cards right here. I'm just going to grab them for you to show you. These are my report cards from school. From grade 1, I don't have every single report card from every year, but I have a number of my report cards. And if we sat together and I showed you these report cards, you would see, C's, some D's, marks, when it was out of 100, when we were rated 50%, 37%. One of my classes, I got 1% one time, barely scraping by to get through school. I got through school. I graduated from high school, but I wasn't interested in what I was being taught in school, nor was I inspired to go on to do continuing education in the formal capacity. Nothing wrong with it. Please don't get me wrong. But what I did do is I decided that I would invest the time, the energy, and the money into understanding more about me, my potential, and working in harmony with the laws of the universe. And as a result, my life has positively changed. Now, I'm not saying that to brag. I want you to understand that if a girl who came from a very poor upbringing, from my father who worked he was a janitor actually. My mother had worked in a factory until she became a checkout clerk in a grocery store. If I came from that, being a struggling teenager who was all consumed in debt to create millionaire status, anyone can do it. I don't consider myself highly intelligent. I have great common sense though. But here's what you need. If you want to create more abundance and prosperity in your life. Now, let me ask you this question actually before I answer that. Do you want more prosperity and abundance in your life? Do you? Is that what you would love? Would you love to be experiencing more prosperity and abundance in your life? Would you love that? Yes? Answer the question. Thank you. All right. Good stuff. Okay, good. Have you defined what that is for you? In other words, what would it mean for you to live a prosperous life? What would it mean to your family if you were prosperous? What would that mean? I want you to really think about that for a moment. What would it mean for you to have prosperity? You see, a lot of people have these thoughts, negative, destructive thoughts, that money is the root of all evil or money is bad. And I'll tell you, anyone that has that belief doesn't have money in their life. They're not prosperous. But they may have had that belief impressed into their subconscious mind because of parents, because of others, because of what they're seeing as a result of their own life, right? You can't look at present results and expect something different. You can't sit down and get on your knees and say, please, please, please send me the money, send me some money. It's not going to work. As a matter of fact, when you're in that place of need, here's a hint, by the way, when you're in a place of desperation, you're pushing abundance away from you. You're pushing it away. Now, that's what I was doing. I was pushing it away. I did not believe many, many years ago that it was even possible for me. It was only through studying, extensive studying, that I had the realization that having abundance and having prosperity was possible for me, regardless of where I came from, regardless of the education or not lack of education, regardless of whether my parents had money or didn't have money. It was possible, and it's possible for you, but it's possible for those who believe. Now, if you don't believe right now, understand that's okay. That's okay. Why is that okay? Because you can build the belief. You can build the belief within you so that you become a magnet for prosperity, so that you are naturally attracting into your life what you desire. You see, you don't attract what you want. You attract based on who you are, right? You are a magnetic being that is attracting right now. You are manifesting, you are attracting into your life, but you're attracting based on what has gone into your consciousness before, based on what your beliefs are. So in order to change that, in order to change your results, what must you do? You have to change what's going into your mind. And when you make the change of consciousness, and when you impress it through repetition of being engaged in the study, of understanding what you're learning and applying by having a mentor, then and only then are you going to experience the results. You see, here's one of the truths about prosperity consciousness. In order for you to have that which you desire, you must first feel it inside yourself as being a natural experience. And I will tell you this, that is going to take effort, it's going to take time, and most people aren't even doing it. And even those that are that are focused on, they have the desire to have more money in their life, they aren't doing it effectively. I see it all the time. I hear it all the time. I hear it in questions. When people ask me questions, I can tell immediately where they're stuck. Now, where most people are stuck is holding on to old beliefs, almost like they think it's a life preserver that's going to save them. They're going to save them from drowning. But what are they holding on to? They're holding on to old, negative, destructive beliefs that are really like a big cement block. They're going to bring them down. You want to understand yourself. You want to understand that power that's within you. And that's why we call this event Turn On Your Power. That's what I would love to do, is turn on your power, bring out the best of you so that you're creating only desirable results. So how this is accomplished is by having a mentor, someone who understands this from a level that they've experienced it. You know, one of the blessings that we have today is this great thing called the internet. And as I said at the beginning of this, I am right now live on 3 platforms. I'm live on YouTube, I'm live on Facebook, I'm live on Instagram. I'm also started doing TikTok videos, so we can be in multiple places at one time, right? Well, there are over 4 billion people online today. And there are a lot of people who have become very good and very effective at marketing online. And that's great. That's wonderful. But I'll tell you what I'm seeing very little of: authenticity. And what I mean by authenticity is people that have actually created the success in their life that they're spewing to others. And there's a lot of these people that are out there saying, this is how you get rich. And they've rented an Airbnb to shoot a video, or they borrowed a car or rented a car, and they're acting as if, or pretending as if, it's almost like fraud in a way. And I'm not saying to be aware. We're not going to go to that place of, oh my goodness, let's live in fear. Why I am saying that and sharing that with you is I want you to know my highest value in life and in business is authenticity, integrity, honesty. And that is the only way our entire team operates. And I know we can help people. I know we can help change your present situation and create something better. But it's not up to me to actually implement that. It's up to you. You've got to follow through. Now, the difference between wishing for something and being ready to accept it, as Napoleon Hill so beautifully said in the great book, the classic book, Think and Grow Rich, is that you have to make a decision. You have to make a decision and open your mind. And where does that come from? Where does that come from where you finally just say, I'm making the decision? It comes from a place called dissatisfaction. So if you're currently dissatisfied with the lack of abundance and prosperity in your life, I want you to do this. Get excited. Now, that may sound strange. Get excited about the lack? Yes, because this will stimulate your growth. So when I first met Bob Proctor many years ago and was blessed to be a part of his seminar, I realized that this is very important. If you want your life to change, you must change. You must change. Now, what do you change? You change what goes into your mind. You change what you allow to go in through a funnel, if you will. You only allow information, ideas, quotes, strategies, techniques, concepts that work, that produce the results that you want, and you reject anything else. There's no room at the end for that negativity. There's no room for things that don't work. Enough is enough. And when I decided enough is enough, when I got to that point to say no more playing small, no more living in struggle, It wasn't fun. I didn't really enjoy that experience. I decided I don't want to have that. I don't want to be wondering if I'm going to be able to pay the visa bills or the debts at the end of the month and how to spread it out. So I'm just making minimum payments. And then you see the interest rates that they charge and go like, oh, holy smokes, going to sleep at night and worrying about whether this was all going to come together or not, or even praying. Now, that was all done from what I love to affectionately call an ignorant state. An ignorant state is a state of not knowing. An ignorant state means you don't know. And it's neither bad nor good. It just is. It just is the way it is. But you know what you have? You have a brand new opportunity right now in this very moment, to change your life for the better, which includes prosperity and abundance. There are many people today that live a rich life, a charmed life. That's what Bob Proctor used to call it, a charmed life. What is that? It's not just having the money. It's not just having the abundance and being a millionaire. It's having fulfillment in every area of your life, of feeling a great sense of peace, of waking up feeling grateful, knowing that you live this blessed life. But you know what's odd about the whole manifestation process? If that's not currently the way that you're living your life right now, the way to create it is by feeling that as if it's in your life right now. By waking up in the morning and going, oh my goodness, I am so grateful for this day. I'm so blessed for this wonderful life that I have been given. I'm so grateful for the prosperity that's in my life right now. You get to a point that it feels natural. Neville Goddard, who was a great author who wrote a book called The Power of Awareness, said this. He said, the reason why people fail, why they don't experience what they really truly desire to experience in their life, is because they don't feel it naturally. But what a lot of people don't understand is there's a progression to get to that point. And when people hear that and they think, oh, wonderful. Okay, so if I just feel it naturally in this moment, it should show up in my life, right? And then they go and look at their bank statement or they look at their results and they don't see what they would love to be seeing. And then they say this stuff doesn't work. And I know that. I felt that myself. I had been in the study for a number of years. And I started studying in January 1979. And I remember getting to that point where I said, this stuff doesn't work. Now, have any of you experienced that? Have any of you had that thought or that feeling that it's not working for you? Honestly, just be honest. Tell me in the chat box, have you had that experience? Now, if you're honest, I would suspect we're going to see a lot of yeses here. Of course. That doesn't say anything bad about you. That's most people, right? Many people have the desire for riches and they're not willing to do the work. It's like that quote, many people want to change their circumstances, but they're unwilling to improve themselves. Therefore, they remain bound, right? You've got to be willing to improve yourself. You've got to be willing to do the work. What's the work? Well, the work is not difficult. It's not challenging. It's easy to implement. And one of the great blessings of all of it is you are a habitual being. You are a habitual being. You're attracting right now, as I said, but you're attracting habitually. Very much likely or very likely based on the way you were feeling yesterday and the day before and the day before. And if you're expecting different results to show up in your life and you haven't changed what you're putting into your mind, it's not going to happen. It's simply not going to happen. You've got to discipline yourself enough through the study and the understanding and the application to be feeling the prosperous life, to be feeling abundance every single day. every single day. Now, at first, it is going to be challenging. It's going to be challenging because you haven't been programmed that way previously. But here's some great news. You can be programmed for abundance, to live a prosperous life. But you must have this. You must have a prosperity consciousness. A prosperity consciousness. So, what is a prosperity consciousness? What would you say a prosperity consciousness is? Type in the chat box what you believe it is to have a prosperity consciousness. All right, I want to see some of your answers in here to see what you believe it is, what you believe having prosperity consciousness is. You're very welcome, Natalie. I appreciate that. Okay, having abundance. All right, great. I'm seeing some questions come in here. Great, great. Coming from abundance. Oh, I love that, Claudia. To know that the universe is abundant and that it's all available to me and to everyone. That's what Randy says. Randy is right. Yes. Feeling abundance. That's right, Dory. Yes. Attitude about money. Yes, a positive attitude. I'm sure that's what you meant, Michelle, right? A positive attitude about money. Accepting my highest good, says Irene. Yes, I see over here on Instagram a good relationship with money. Love that. Yes. What is your relationship like with money? This is a really important thing to understand. You see, your relationship with money is going to determine how much money you actually have. You see, a lot of people have been raised with a lot of negative beliefs around money. And if that's there, you're very likely going to be blocking it from your life. Very likely blocking it from your life. I remember, a number of years ago, Mary Morrissey and I were doing seminars together for a couple of years. Mary Morrissey, Bob Proctor, Gay Hendricks, the four of us. My husband used to call us the Beatles. And we used to run these seminars. I had the Sue's here. Sue was part of that way back when. And I remember Mary telling the story about Raymond Charles Baker. And he wrote a book. He wrote a book about money. And I have that book right here on my bookshelf. It's called Money is God in Action, Raymond Charles Baker. And one of the things that Mary said is that she had heard that this gentleman, Raymond Charles Baker, was speaking at an event. And this was early days for Mary. And she was a very spiritual person. She still is a very spiritual person. And she went to see Raymond Charles Baker. And he was a very popular speaker. And she went to this one particular event. There were thousands of people in the room. And she was somewhere way back in the room. And Raymond Charles Baker walked on stage. And he pulled out his wallet. And he had a fan of $100 bills. And he just started by saying, I love money. And he was kissing the bills, right? I love money. And he's walking around the stage with this big fan of these $100 bills, declaring how much he loved money. And then he stopped doing that and he asked the audience a question. And the question he asked was this: how many of you, and he asked them to be honest, how many of you were repulsed by what I just did? How many of you? And he asked the audience to be honest, like, how many of you were repulsed by that? And Mary said she had to admit she felt very repulsed. As a matter of fact, in her mind, she was thinking, this guy's supposed to be spiritual? And he's talking about money like that? Where he's kissing all these bills? And then he said this. He said, if I walked on stage and I had a baby and I held up that baby and I said, I love this baby, and kissed the baby. I love this baby. Kissing the baby. Would any of you have been repulsed by that action? And of course, the audience would say no. Why would they? A baby's so sweet and innocent. And he said this: I want you to know that money heard you. Money heard you. You see, money is energy. Money is something that is available to everyone to attract. And money can do more good for you than you can imagine. As a matter of fact, I want you to imagine right now that you are prosperous, that you are abundantly wealthy. Are you willing to do this with me right now? Yes, yes, yes. Type in yes. Are you willing to do this? I want you to do this right now. Okay, we're going to do a little exercise and we're going to ask a subsequent question. Are you willing to feel as if you're abundantly rich right now? Okay, good. All right, close your eyes. Close your eyes. Now, if you're driving, don't close your eyes. Close your eyes. I want you to imagine taking a deep breath. Just imagine that your life right now is rich. You're abundantly prosperous. You're rich beyond your wildest dreams. You have more money than you even know what to do with. You feel so good knowing that you're set for life. You're financially free. Are you feeling it? Are you really feeling it right now? All right. Well, tell me, what did that feel like? What did that feel like? As you connected to the emotion of feeling abundantly wealthy, what did it feel like? Share. Type in the little chat box. What did it feel like? I love that, Sue. All right, great. Wow, perfect. Okay, great. Are you feeling it? Yeah, liberating, says Heidi. Beautiful. So incredible, says Catherine. Happiness, peace, amazing, thrilled. Randy says she actually cried tears of joy. No, goosebumps, says Ruth. Beautiful. What you did in that moment is you connected to the experience of being abundance. That's what you did. Grateful tears, says Michelle. I feel relaxed, says Natalie. It felt so good, says Jay. Dory said it felt amazing. It feels so good to relax. It really does feel relaxing. And do you realize, free and joyful, says Connie, do you realize that when you're relaxed, you're far more creative? When you're relaxed, you're in a positive state of mind. You're in a positive energy space. And when you're feeling a particular emotion, like you just did right there, when you're feeling that great sense of accomplishment, that feeling of joy, that feeling of knowing, yes, it's here right now. What you did was you tapped into your imagination. That's your mental faculty. Every one of you have it. Now, I suspect there's people that are watching this right now who aren't following through. They're not following through. You know what? This is a game. It's a game, but you've got to play it right. And you've got to play it in your favor. Now, in your favor means that your success, your abundant life, your prosperity is absolutely guaranteed. It is. It is. Now, whether you use the money for good, it's up to you. And there are people that attract money into their life and they don't use it for good. Well, that's their deal, right? They're going to be dealing with the laws of the universe. And one of the laws of the universe is cause and effect. One of the laws of the universe is the law of vibration. How you're feeling is going to be what you're attracting into your life. And money is meant for good. It's meant to do more good. It'll do more good. I'll tell you this, there's been so many people that have said this quote. Many times you've heard it. I've heard stars that have said it, singers that have said it, speakers that have said it, philosophers that have said it. And here's what the quote is. I've been rich and I've been poor, and rich is better. I've been rich and I've been poor, and rich is better. Now, I can personally claim that as well. Why is it better? Why is being prosperous better? I want to ask you that question. Why? Why do you believe that when you have prosperity in your life, when you're living your life in abundance, why is that better? Type in the chat box. I want to see your answers to that question. Why do you believe it's better? Yes, absolutely. Thank you. Yeah, Parker says, attracting money to help others. I love that. Sanjeev says, to have best choices. Keith says, because I can, well, actually, Keith said, what did Keith say? Increase of life. Over here, Mosna says, because I can make other people happy. Well, you can't make anyone happy, but because they're in control of how they feel. But I understand what you mean. You can certainly help them, and very likely they will be happy. I like what Regina wrote here: less worries, more freedom. Totally. Claudia says, because you can expand more, you can share more, says Isabella. Yes, absolutely. It gives you the freedom to live the life of your dreams, says James. Truly, it gives you the freedom to live the life of your dreams. Like, I remember working in the corporate world many years ago and having to get up at, having this thing called the alarm clock, wake you up, wake you up in the morning. You're in a nice deep sleep in the warmth under your covers on your comfy pillow. And then this zap noise wakes you up and you got to get up. It's like, you dread getting out of bed, you head off into the shower, you have a shower, get dressed, get into traffic, and you drive to work dreading your whole day and thinking, when is it coming to 5 o'clock? And then you're looking forward to the weekend. Like, thank God it's Friday. And then the weekend's here. And then you get 2 weeks off every year for a vacation and you look forward to that. What kind of a way is that to live? Exchanging dollars for hours? Now, I'm not saying it's a bad way. It's the way the majority of the population operate. They exchange dollars for hours. And it keeps a roof over their head. There's something good in that. There's a blessing in that. But what if you are able to get up every day, whatever time you want? You don't set your clock because you're just going to wake up when you wake up, when you feel refreshed. And you're doing work that's deeply meaningful, that you love, and there's no cap. You're not told this is your salary or this is your income. There's an unlimited income. You can earn whatever it is that you want. Absolutely can earn. Like, I believe we live in a prosperous world. Anyone can make money. There's multiple ways of earning money, and anybody can be tapped into those. Bob Proctor used to do a presentation on that. He talked about multiple sources of income. And what he said was that very wealthy people have them. What do they have? They have multiple sources of income. And that's possible for you. But there's going to be some work involved. But it's fun work. It's enjoyable work. To get up every day and know that you're going to be doing something that you absolutely love, and that you've created the freedom to do what you want, when you want, with whoever you want. Imagine that kind of life. Is that the kind of life that you would love to be living? Type in the chat box. Is that the kind of life that you would love to be living? Beautiful. I love that, Michelle. Perfect. She says, I do what I love now, but I want to take it further. Yes. Well, not everyone, Keith, but yes, to take it further. Like, there is a wide difference between just being curious about this and being committed. When I look at the right-hand side of the chat box here and I see the folks that are on here, a number of them who are very serious students. I mean, Sue, I met you many years ago, 10 years ago, I believe. I've been studying these materials for over 43 years. Over 43 years. I've been on the planet 63 years. So I was young. I had just turned 20 when I met Bob Proctor. Just barely out of my 19th year. I'm into my 20th year, and I met him. Now, when Bob Proctor started to help me and everyone else that was in the audience understand that it was possible to create greater results in my life, including prosperity, he helped me understand that it was up to me. If I wanted my life to change, that I had to change, but I also had to be invested in myself. Keith had mentioned that a lot of people that Bob worked with became wealthy. Not everybody. I work with a number of people that have also become millionaires. Now, I can't take credit for that. Bob wouldn't take credit for that. Because if we take credit for other people's success, then we should be taking credit for their failures too, right? But I'll tell you this, I know how to create prosperity. I know how to guide you to show you how to create prosperity in your life, but you have to commit to it. You have to commit to it. And I'm going to show you the easy way, the very easy way of creating that mentality in your life. And you can do it like that. As a matter of fact, you did a little while ago. I asked you to imagine. But here's what happens. You're imagining and you connected to the emotion. You felt it in your heart. You felt it sincerely. We saw the response. We saw the reactions. We saw people actually having tears of joy. They were there. They were aligned. They had the connection. They were in harmony with it. But a moment later, you're out of harmony. Why does that happen? Because of programming, because of conditioning, because you're a habitual creature. You want to break the old patterns, develop new patterns of success so that it is easy, so that you are in harmony on a more consistent basis with what you desire. Now, would you love the easy way? I want to know if you want the easy way. Yes or no? Type in your answer. All right, I love this. Yes. Wonderful. All right. Of course, says Heidi. Yes. There's another example of a serious student, Heidi. Dawn, yes. Jamie, yes. Marie, yes. Okay, good. Good. All right. You know, it's willingness is really a great place to start. You got to start with the desire and the willingness to have it be easy. And do you realize that you have an attitude right now of whether this is going to be easy or hard? And just by having the belief that it's hard means what? It's probably going to be hard. It also means you'll probably give up. Most people give up. Most people give up. You got to want prosperity so much. You got to hold on tight like a dog would with a bone. This is a rawhide dog bone. When I was a little girl, we had a little dog named Peppy, and she had a rawhide dog bone. And if she got a hold of her rawhide dog bone and you grabbed the edges of her bone and tried to pull it away from her, she wouldn't let go. And it became a game. Sometimes we'd be dragging little Peppy around the living room, as we're holding on to the edges of the bone. And it was fun. But you know what? It's a metaphor for successful people. It's a metaphor for life. You got to hold on tight to your dreams. You got to hold on tight to that vision and not let go. You don't want to let go. And you certainly don't want someone else to take it away from you. But you know what? There are people who will tell you you're crazy. And the thought that you can be prosperous, the thought that you can have anything that you want in your life, nonsense, right? Negativity. But you're not going to let that in. You're just saying, no. And you know something? They might even be in your family. You might even be sleeping in the same bed with them. I hear that question time and time again. How do I stay in a positive environment when I'm sleeping with a negative person? That's not my case because I have a very wonderful, positive husband. But people ask me that. Or it's their parents, or it's their siblings, or it's their friends. And they're all telling you that you're nuts pursuing your dreams. You invested in what? You paid how much for that program? Right? What are their results like? You don't want to be learning from or taking advice or accepting ideas into your conscious mind that are not going to help you or not going to serve you. Yes, you want to have an open mind, but open mind to accept through your reasoning factor only the ideas, only the thoughts that are going to be in harmony with what you desire. That's why you showed up today. That's why you're here today. I know you want it, or you wouldn't have been here. You wouldn't have shown up here. You wouldn't still be here today. But I want you to know how important it is to dedicate yourself to this. You've got to dedicate yourself. You've got to be committed to learning. You've got to be studying every single day. Study with me. Get in our Club Achieve program. We're studying. There's a number of people that are here right now that are in Club Achieve. I think it's one of the best things I've ever done is Club Achieve, because I've been studying for years and years and years, and I have a very unique way of studying. What's my way of studying? I study in a way that it produces better results, right? There's a lot of people who are patting themselves on the back going, I read that book and I read that book and I studied this course and I watched this video. That's nice. What did you do with it? Do you understand it? Did you apply it? You've got to have the understanding and application. Without it, nothing's going to change. Actually, things do change. They probably get worse. You have an option, either going to get better or things are going to get worse. Which side do you want to be on? Now, I'm certain you want to be on the side of getting better. Yes? Okay, good. Then this is going to be more than just what we're doing here today for an hour of your time. There's more work involved. There's a greater depth of understanding involved. And you don't just study it for the sake of studying and saying, oh, that's fascinating. That's an interesting idea. You study for understanding. And you get to understanding because you need to apply these principles into your life. It's the only way I'm able to sit here today and to claim to you that I transform my life from being raised in a poor environment to being a millionaire. The only way that happened was from dedicating myself, investing in myself. I have invested hundreds of thousands of dollars into study, hundreds of thousands of dollars. But what has it returned? It has returned certain things in my life. There's no dollar you can put on it. There's no dollar value. When I think of my marriage, my happy marriage with my wonderful husband, if you had said to me years ago, after I met Denny and we started to date and we were in a relationship, if you had said to me, I'll give you $1 million for your relationship, I wouldn't have sold it for anything in the world. It's so valuable. Even today, if you said, I'll give you $1 billion, but you can't have that relationship anymore, I wouldn't take it. There's no price. There is no price that you can put on certain things in your life that you value, that you cherish, like my family. I cherish my family, my son, my daughter-in-law, my grandchildren, my stepdaughter. I'm so blessed in this wonderful life. So blessed to be experiencing what I'm experiencing in my life. And it happened because I invested. So I invested hundreds of thousands, but what did it return to me? I have earned millions and millions of dollars. I heard a speaker recently say this, if you gave me $10 and I gave you back 100, is that a good exchange of value? Well, of course. That's one of those, duh, of course it's a good exchange of value. So if you gave me $10,000 and I gave you $100,000 back, is that a good exchange of value? Well, of course. Well, let's say you had to borrow that $10,000 and it cost you, let's say you borrowed it from someone who charged you a very high interest rate and it actually cost you $20,000. But in exchange, you got $100,000. Is that a good exchange of value? Yes, of course it's a good exchange of value. You see, I'm not saying there's a price that you can put on understanding how to live in a prosperity consciousness, because when you understand this at a depth that you really begin to manifest your every desire, you're going to discover that you can manifest anything. Like I manifested my husband. I literally manifested my husband. I manifested our home. I manifested our waterfront home. I manifested a home down in Florida. I've manifested dream home after dream home after dream home. I manifested Jaguars, Mercedes, BMWs. I've manifested these things. You see, the great benefit to understanding how to manifest is not for what you get. It's not that you're going to be earning a lot more money or having a lot more money or have multiple sources of income. That's wonderful and definitely a benefit. But the greatest benefit of it all is who you become. Who you become. That's the great benefit. That's why we call this event Your Power. Tap into your power. Unleash that power that's within you. Because the power and the ability to manifest a life of abundance and prosperity is within you now. It's within you now. I remember when I first heard that back in like 1984, I thought, what? I really thought back then that it came from an outside source. Now, you'll work in harmony with the universe. You work in harmony with the laws of the universe, which are always on, and they don't discriminate. Work with anyone, but it's you that initiate it. It's you that calls it forth. You literally call abundance into your life. You claim it as your own. And when you do, it comes to you in what Dr. Joseph Murphy calls an avalanche of abundance. But that only occurs once you have the depth of understanding. The depth of understanding. You've got to really understand it and apply it into your life. We have a group of people that we work with that are absolutely committed to taking their life to another level. And I decided to create this. It's called Skipping Levels. And I decided to create Skipping Levels a number of years ago because the times in my life where I reached a point of dissatisfaction have been my greatest growth opportunities. It's also where I created the best results. It's absolutely where I created the best results. And I decided I'm going to create a program to bring a whole bunch of other people into a small group, into a wonderful group where we're like-minded individuals who are committed to success. They're committed to their success. They're ready for a quantum leap. They're ready to take their life and their results to the next level. Perhaps be a millionaire. Perhaps do something that they would love to do. And that's called skipping levels. Now, how many of you are ready for a quantum leap in your life? Type in yes in the chat box. Type in if you're ready. I love that, Vladdy. Vladdy's typing in some of the comments. Yes. Massive ticket to freedom, says Vladdy. You are all right. Dawn's ready. The pillow is ready. Of course, says Randy. James says yes. Joan is yes. Joan, I love Joan. She's very committed to her success. I'm a quantum leaping daily. Yes, I'm ready, says Mahdi. Irene would love that. Beautiful. Excellent. Okay, well, we can help you. We can get you registered. We can have you join Skipping Levels. Just go to skippinglevels.com. But if you'd like to have a conversation with the lovely Vladdy so she can determine whether you're the right fit, it's really important we have the right fit. Then we're going to put the link in each one of these platforms where you can schedule a call with Vladdy. Doesn't cost you anything. Vladdy is a member of our team. We serve together. We serve together. I met Vladdy. She was a client. Vladdy lives in England, just outside of London. And this is a woman who got to a point in her life where she was dissatisfied. Can anyone relate? Absolutely. And she decided to invest in herself. She borrowed the money. I don't even think her husband knew she was doing it. She stretched herself. She felt very uncomfortable doing it. But you know what? The desire was stronger than the discomfort. And she knew there was more. She knew, and she was ready, just like you are, to create massive results in her life. So she invested in herself. And now she works with me. We're working together. I love Vladdy. But you know what I love about Vladdy? Number one, she's a lot like me. She understands that you must be committed. She understands that success is not by accident. Success is a choice. Prosperity is a choice. You living in abundance is a choice. So do you choose it? Do you choose it now? You got to take this seriously, man. Like, you really have to take it seriously. Like, you don't know how much time you have. You don't. I'm not being morbid, but this isn't a rehearsal here, a dress rehearsal. This thing called life is not a dress rehearsal. Bob Proctor used to say this. Most people are going through their life, tiptoeing their way through life, hoping they'll make it safely to death. Think about that for a moment. Most people are tiptoeing their way through life, hoping they'll make it safely to death. Well, I can guarantee you, you're going to make it safely to death. We all are. Some sooner than later. Some sooner than later. You don't want to live this life broke, struggling, miserable. Just say enough is enough already. Just decide. You know what? Even if you don't have the money, if you're thinking right now, oh, I'd love to take that program, or I'd love to work with Peggy, like, there's actually even private mentoring available now. It wasn't for the longest time. We have one spot available. Vladdy can help you with that. One spot available. It's not about the money. And I'll tell you this, if you want something, if you really want something, you're going to find a way. You will absolutely find a way. I remember back in like 1988, I wanted to attend a course and it was $12,600 back then. We're talking a bunch of years ago. I didn't have the money to do it. I didn't have $12 to do it at that time. I signed up anyways. Why? Because I thought I'm going to find a way, and I did. I found the same thing when I met Bob Proctor. At the end of the evening of his seminar, he offered everyone in the room to invest in themselves. I was like racing to the back of the room to sign the registration form. I put my credit card down going, I hope it goes through. I mean, I didn't know if my credit card was going to get rejected or not. Fortunately, it went through. And I went to his series of seminars that was spread out over 2 months. And at the end of that, he offered us to come back again. It's repetition that creates the depth of understanding. I took Bob's seminars over and over and over and over again. It got to a point where I said to Bob, if you're ever sick, just call me because I could get on stage for you. Little did I know I'd be sharing the stage with Bob one day, which I did for years, for many years. Sue's been in the audience when I was on stage with Bob Proctor. But how did I get to that point? By application, right? I want to show you the way. You didn't show up here today by accident. There's something in you that's saying, there's more for you. And you know what? You're right. There is more for you. You are meant to live a prosperous life. You're not meant to struggle. But why is it that so many people struggle? Why? Because of ignorance, meaning not knowing. It's not that they want to struggle or they have a desire to continue to struggle. They want more. They simply don't know how. I want to show you the way. I know I've been there. I've been in the struggle. I can appreciate it. But more importantly, I want to show you how to live in prosperity. But you said you're ready, so make a decision. Absolutely make a decision. Make an irrevocable decision right now that you're taking your life to a whole new level. You've had enough. Now's the time. Today's the day. You know, I stepped out of my office earlier today and my husband was in the living room and he was watching the news. And I don't watch the news. He watches the news and he just tells me what's going on in the world. Not that I ask, he just tells me. But here's what he said when I walked out the room. He said something like, apparently energy prices are going to go up 50%. Like gas, your car. Look at the price of gas right now. The gas to heat your home, hydro, you know, anything that's required, energy, it's going up 50%. And then he said, groceries are going up 22%. Look at the housing market. How much has that gone up? 100% in some cases, 50% in others, 36% in others. Did your income go up that much? I suspect not. Maybe for some or a tiny few. But you got to understand that we're reaching a very interesting time in history. And just like many years ago, when there were these things called recessions or even a depression, there were people earning millions of dollars. Matter of fact, when the last recession hit, I decided I am not participating. You know why? People get caught up in the swirling negative energy, and it creates fear, more fear, more fear, more fear, and people hoard their dollars. Money is meant to circulate. That's when the economy is strong, is when money is circulating. And there's an abundance of it. If you're thinking that you only have a certain amount of money for a certain thing, you're thinking lack. That's lack mentality thinking. We're having an event here in Ottawa next week, and a lady had sent in an email saying that she's reserving all her money for something to do with her family. And as soon as I read it, I thought, that's lack mentality. It's not a judgment. It simply is. It's a lack mentality. You think that if you use the money for that, there's not going to be money for something else. There's an abundance. There's an absolute abundance out there. And there are many people, some of my clients, that are earning millions of dollars doing what they love. Now, you don't even have to know how you're going to do it. That is the greatest lesson I have learned in over 43 years. You do not have to know how you're going to do it. Isn't that great news? Don't you love that? You do not have to know how you're going to attract. You do have to decide what you love. You have to get clear on that. You have to feel what it feels like to have it in your life. You have to get in harmony with it and stay in harmony with it through practices, through disciplines. And when you do, then and only then will you experience the result. It works like magic. It's like that quote that I heard so many years ago. Magic is the opposite of life. With magic, when you know how it works, the magic disappears. But with life, when you know how it works, the magic begins. Now let's swap out the word abundance or prosperity. Magic is the opposite of abundance. With magic, when you know how it works, the magic disappears. With abundance, with prosperity, when you know how it works, the magic begins. And that is so true. Now, me and my team, we want to help create magic for you, but it's up to you. Now, if you've decided you want to take your life to the next level, if you're ready, then get in touch with Vladdy. Or if you're like me, a real decision maker like this, go and sign up. You can sign up for Club Achieve. We study together every day. You can get on our study class tomorrow. Join us for skipping levels. Do both. There's many people who are here today that are in both of those things. Both of those programs. Absolutely recommend both of those programs. But we're here to give you the guidance. I didn't get to where I am today by going to a 1-hour seminar. I got here by dedicating myself, by investing in myself, by working with a mentor who understood more than what I did. Now, he's gone from this earthly place. Now, Bob Proctor, what a blessing Bob was, not only to me, but to millions of people. I was blessed to know him for over 43 years. I was blessed to work with him. We had a company together for a number of years. I shared the stage at the PGI events, his Proctor Gallagher events. We were friends. I was at his home in December for Christmas dinner. See, he was my mentor. To me, he was the best teacher on the planet, but he wasn't my only mentor. I learned from others. I learned from other masters that have gone on. But the difference making occurs in the understanding and the application. You must understand and you must apply, because if you don't, you're not going to get the results. And you absolutely must invest in yourself. If you're not investing in yourself, you're not going to get the results. And even if you took another course, excuse me, years ago, you still invest. I still invest. I'm constantly buying new materials, new books, new programs. Why? Because I'm expanding my knowledge, expanding my awareness. I'm studying every single day because nothing stays the same. You're either getting better or getting worse. You decide which side of that you're going to be on. All right. Okay. Now I know there are a number. Yes. All right, Connie. I love that. She says, sign up and join us. Oh, thank you. Maluli says, you're a blessing. Thank you. I love these materials. They've changed my life and I want to help so many people, hundreds of millions of people. That's my mission. Absolutely. My mission is to help hundreds of millions of people. And I don't even have to work anymore, but I love this so much. I love, love, love helping people. So invest in your potential is what Vladdy says. She's right. And she's ready to talk to you. You want to talk to her? Talk to Vladdy. If you're someone who's sitting on the fence, this is a no-brainer decision for me. I understand that now. So you can go to Club Achieve and sign up, and I would suggest that you do right now. We've kept the investment in that low. Huge value. You know, my mentor and friend had a very similar offering. Now, I work with you, study with you every day of the week, Monday through Friday, not Saturday and Sunday, Monday through Friday, every day of the week. We even worked on Good Friday and Easter Monday. We're going to be taking some holidays off, Christmas, New Year's, things like that. Bob had a similar program. Oh, all right, Sarah. Bob had a similar program where he would study with his study group once a week. And it was somewhere around, I think it was $18,000 or $25,000. You're going to see our offer for Club Achieve is significantly less than that. A very low investment for what you get. All right. And then we have skipping levels. That's the Quantum Leap program for those that are ready to take a quantum leap. That's a 6-month program with lots of access to me. And I want you to know this. Some people ask this question, will it work for me? Yes, if you have the desire. You know, do I have to be at a certain point in my life? Just have to desire it. That's it. Do you get access to me? Yes, you get access to me. We get on calls every day when you're in Club Achieve. In Skipping Levels, I'll take your questions directly. We do laser coaching in Skipping Levels. There's special classes, and it's the best training that I've ever created inside Skipping Levels. It is the Quantum Leap program. It's taking your results to a whole new level program. That's what it's all about. So you can go to skippinglevels.com. Yes, you're right. Marcello, yes, when we stop learning, we crystallize progress. You're right. You've got to keep learning, always learning. All right. I know that Roddy has been very kindly collecting questions for me. Ooh, we have lots of questions here. Oh, and I apologize. We've gone beyond the hour, but if you're okay with it, we'll keep going. We'll keep going for a little bit longer. Is that good with you? All right. Okay. How do we remain in the 4th dimension when we're tested to the max in the 3rd dimension? Okay, first of all, you are not being tested. Get rid of that idea. That does not support you. No one is being tested. All right, no one. If things are happening, it's just happening. You cannot change the time you got out of bed this morning. It's in the past. Okay, just recognize it's in the past. How do you live in the 4th dimension? Well, we did an exercise earlier where I asked you to close your eyes and imagine. You imagine. You act as if. Now you think about those 3 words, act as if. Act as if you are the person that you desire to be. Act as if you have what it is that you want to have in your life. Feel it in your heart. Like if you look at any of the Academy Award winning actors that have received Best Actress or Best Actor or whatever award for their performance, it's because they portrayed a persona that was so convincing, so convincingly real that people, recognize that. And they were awarded with that. I remember one time seeing Sir Anthony Hopkins was on the Oprah Winfrey Show. And Sir Anthony Hopkins played the role of Hannibal Lecter in Silence of the Lambs. And obviously it was a very, interesting role. He was portraying the role of a serial killer, very sick individual. And Oprah asked Anthony this question. She said, did you find it challenging to step out of that persona, that role that you were playing after the filming was done? And he said, yes. Understandably, he was all consumed in playing this role, a particular role that he had to portray to be so convincingly real for the viewers that he won an award for it. And that's what it's like. You're playing a role right now in your life. You're the lead role. You should also be the director, the producer, the lead actor, and do an Academy Award-winning performance of being that person who has accomplished what you desire. All right? So convincingly real. That's what you want to do. All right? No need to struggle. The next question is, when manifesting, some say visualize in detail, others say don't be too specific, let the universe decide. All right, great question. Now, there's a fine line here, and I want to talk to you about this because a lot of people assume that visualizing in detail means you're figuring out the way. You're figuring out the how. Well, you don't have to. You do not have to figure out the how. The universe is going to do that part. What you have to do is see it in your mind's eye. Now, the details would be more around what are you feeling now that you have it? Now, it doesn't have to be explicit detail. You could have one image, one vision that you see in your mind that's reflective of an outcome that you desire. And that's the image and that's the detail that you see when you do your visualization. Or it could be a number of things. Let's say, I'll give an example. Let's say that you desire to have a particular home on the water. And maybe it's a vacation home. And what you would love to do is have a hammock between two trees. And I'm just sharing this example because it was one that I used. And you would love to have a beautiful swim platform out front where you can park your boat and a nice big deck where you can enjoy the sunshine and maybe watch the sunset. And you'd like for it to be on a lake because you love the sound of loons at night. And so those are details. Those are details of a particular outcome as if it's already done. The detail is not how it came to be. The detail is not all the steps that you took to get there. All right. So that's the difference. So I love that you asked that question. The next question is, often feel like my paradigm take over and destroy my moving forward. All right. Well, your paradigms are definitely going to fight you when you decide to make a change. So let's use this as an example. Let's say a number of you have said, I would love to be part of skipping levels. But the paradigm kicks in and says, oh, how are you going to do that? You don't have the money for that. I know you'd like to do it, but you don't have it. That's a paradigm, right? Do not allow your paradigm to take over. Do you know who's in control of your paradigm? You are. You have to take conscious control of your thoughts. That's self-mastery. When you master your life, you're in control of your thoughts. And you may think a negative thought, but you notice it. You have awareness there and you switch immediately. Understand that no one is in control of your life but you. Do not give your control away. Do not give it to something outside of you. Paradigms do that. Paradigms are going to try and pull you back, or they'll, as Bob would say, put up a royal battle and they fight you. But you know what? They'll continue to fight you until you replace them. That's going to take some time. It's going to take some commitment. And that's what I'll guide you on in our program, Skipping Levels. I'll guide you into how to create that. Oops. Hold on one second here. Okay. All righty. Let's go to the next question. How do I control my mental focus in tough situations? Love this question. This is a very important question. And I suspect whoever asked this question, there's going to be a lot of other people who have a very similar question. And the answer is similar to what we've already been talking about, tough situations. How do you take control over your mind? I would suggest you saturate your mind. Absolutely saturate your mind. You're a great candidate for skipping levels, by the way, a phenomenal candidate for skipping levels. You want to saturate your mind with only positive materials. Like Connie and Alan McIntosh, who are in our Club Achieve program. They're in Skipping Levels. They're coming to an event that I'm doing next week. They have committed to their success. They have decided they're taking their life to a whole new level. They're saturating their mind with these materials. They're serious students and they show up. They show up, they absorb the materials, they ask questions, and they are committed to their success. So that's what you want to do. Now, if you don't already have a Power Life script, get one, create one. And if you don't even know what that is, go to the front page of my website, PeggyMcColl.com, PEGGYMCCOLL.com, and you can download a free study guide on the Power Life script. It's free, totally free. Go there and do that. Follow along, take some action, and you're going to really be glad that you did. Okay, next question is, I love dancing and I'm bringing it more and more into my life. A dream come true. I also want to create abundance and want to earn $1 million a year. Can I just see myself dancing and earning that much and let the universe figure out the how? You see, you're already trying to figure out the how. You're saying, can I see myself dancing and earning that much? Yes, absolutely. And it may come from dancing, it may not. You may find that you're earning the money from dancing, but you're right. Let the universe figure out the how. All right. But what you must do is feel as if it's already here in your life right now. And you'll probably still dance because you love it. It's your passion. I remember one time Bob Proctor was sharing a story about a doctor that had come to one of his events. And the doctor had said to Bob that he had been thinking about quitting his medical career and finding something else so that he could attract more money. And Bob said, do you love being a doctor? And he said, yes. And he said, why would you quit? And he said, because I can only earn so much money in that. And he said, well, keep being a doctor if you love it and add additional sources of income. There's other ways that you can attract money into your life where you're not even working. And Bob used to say, I'm earning more money in my sleep than I can spend when I'm awake. Is that possible? Sure. There's a handful of people that are doing that. It's absolutely possible to do that. But I love your attitude. I love that you recognize what you love and that you're committed to it and that you understand the universe will figure it out, but you must remain in harmony with what it is that you desire. Okay. Asha is asking a great question here. How can someone have multiple houses? Also, can someone have a specific house even if the owner doesn't want to sell it? Thank you for your answer. Okay, great. I had multiple houses. I've had, at one point, I think we had four houses. Now, I'm not into like buying houses to rent them out. I had multiple houses at one time, but they were all ours, right? We were using them. Had a house down south, had a house here, had a house on the water. So I had multiple houses at one time. So how? You buy them, right? You set it as a goal. You see yourself with it. You can attract it. It's basically everything we've been talking about here today. And could you have a specific house even if the owner doesn't want to sell it? Sure, you could set that intention, but I would say this. You could declare that I'm so happy and grateful now that I own and say the address or something better, or something better. You may end up finding something better. And those people that are living in that house, maybe they don't want to leave. All right, Maddie says, how do I know if I should follow some specific path to pursue my career? Because something happened to me and I think it's a sign to go in that direction. How do I know? You know by listening to your intuition. Your intuition is a mental faculty that we all have. There isn't anyone here that does not have intuition. You've got to trust it and you tap into it by getting quiet. Ask the question, close your eyes, be ready to receive guidance. Now, you may get the guidance in the next couple of minutes. It may take a little bit longer, but stay open to receiving. Don't get frustrated saying, it's not coming. Don't have it, because as soon as you believe that, as soon as you think that, you push it away. Give thanks that you already have the answer. Even better, give thanks that you already have the answer, and you'll definitely get the answer. Next question is from Bratchernina. What if one is not in a positive financial state to hire a mentor? Stop letting your paradigm hold you back. Here's what I would suggest. Decide you want one. Decide you're having a mentor. Make a decision. You'll find the money when you commit to it. And I'll give you an example of that. I bought a house in 1995 with a cash advance on my Visa. I didn't have the money to buy it. I didn't have the money in my bank account. I wrote a check for $2,000 to put an offer in, raced to the bank to take the money off my Visa to put it into my checking account to cover the check because I've never written a bad check in my life. And then I knew what I had to do in order to manifest the rest of the money to pay for that home. I made a decision, took a pen, put my name on a legally binding contract, made a commitment that I had no choice but to follow through. I put leverage on myself. I made a commitment and I followed through. Was it scary? Yeah, absolutely. There were some scary times. And my paradigms definitely tried to hold me back and pull me back. But I recognized what was going on. I knew the paradigms would try and pull me back. It happens all the time. You can ask Connie and Alan. They had their paradigms try and hold them back, but they went for it anyway. They've already experienced, they've only been in skipping levels for a month. They're already experiencing positive change. I can see the difference in their energy, right? Stop saying you don't have the money. That's another reason why people stay in lack, because they keep giving energy to what's there presently. All right. If you want a mentor, just make a decision. You're going to do it. You're going to hire someone. Me, I'm available. All right. Sue says, how long is your Power Life script audio? How many times do you listen to it? Okay. Well, it's been different lengths over the years. I've actually condensed it and it's about 10 minutes now. How many times do I listen to it a day? Oh my goodness. 10 minimum. I listen to my Power Life script for hours every day, over and over and over again, over and over and over again. Some evenings I just put in my earbuds and I just let it play. Some mornings it's in, like doing laundry, listening to my Power Life script, doing the dishes, making dinner, out walking the dogs, in the grocery store, getting ready in the morning, listening to my Power Life script multiple times every single day. Okay. Jesu 17. What's the key to manifesting? The key is having the understanding of what it takes to manifest and applying it in your life. All right. That's really the key. All right. The next name, Cyril, looks like it might be the last name or the first name. I really like to invest in myself, but most opportunities are far at the level of high income countries. Okay. Well, there's a lot of free stuff online. I just did this. We've been on here for an hour and 23 minutes. It didn't cost you anything. Go on YouTube. You'll find lots of great stuff on there. But I would get out of that thought. You see, that's a paradigm holding you back. It doesn't matter where you are. You know, I hired someone from Nigeria this week to do some work for me. And I know what I paid him was significantly more than what most people are earning in that country. We're connected to the internet. You're here on the internet. You could be earning money. You can earn an abundance of money. Okay, Love Trade Queen says, how do you stay focused when dealing with outside situations beyond your control that you have to give attention to? All right, well, you look at it differently. It's a perception. This is a perception issue here. You look at it as a blessing, right? You stay focused. You listen to your Power Life script every day. You only feed your mind with what's going to serve you. All right, that's what you do. Suzanne says, what is the best balance between taking action and letting it come? All right, we're going to wrap up with this question. All right, this is a phenomenal question. All right, what is the best balance between taking action and letting it come? You see, a lot of people have this belief that if you just decide what you would love, and let's say having prosperity in your life, and you defined what that is for you, and you're feeling the spirit of it, and you're in harmony with knowing that you're already rich and you're prosperous, etc. And then, what some people do is they just sit back, close their eyes, visualize, and do nothing. That's it. They think that's all I have to do. That's helpful. That's definitely a valuable thing to do. But that's not all you do, because you will get inspired into action. And what happens is this: when and only when you're in harmony with the outcome that you desire, you will get ideas. The universe literally sends them to you. They come through your intuition. You'll sense something, you'll feel something, you'll think something, or you'll hear something, you'll get some guidance from someone, you'll see it in a video, you'll see it in an email, you'll hear it on the television. You will get the guidance, and then you take action. But a big part of achievement, of manifesting in your life, involves discipline. It involves daily discipline. It involves you doing certain things in a certain way every day. Doing certain things in a certain way every day. That's what I teach our skipping levels clients, to do certain things in a certain way every day. How to effectively discipline yourself. Because when you do, that's when you create the magic in your life. All right. All right. I want to thank you, Roddy, for grabbing all these questions from 3 different platforms. You must have been like a racer running around from room to room. I want to thank you, Vladdy, for being on our team, for serving people, for being the incredible woman that you are. And I want to thank all of you that are here, that are with us, that have made a decision that you're going to take your life to a whole new level, that have made a decision that it's your time. You're very welcome. I am here to serve. I love serving you guys. I love what I do. I love helping people live their dreams. I'll take you all the way, but you got to join me, right? So join us in Club Achieve, join us in Skipping Levels. I'll tell you that you are going to be so glad you did. I remember Bob Proctor used to say, when you join the program and you get a year from now, a year down the road, if you've been applying what you've been learning, you're going to need a telescope to look back at your life. I remember he used to say that. And the first time I heard it, I was a little bit confused, but I understand it now. I understand it because I would need a telescope to look back at my life to the way that it was, to the way that it is. And I want that for everyone, and more and more. So I look forward to working with you further, to serving you further, to help you realize your potential that's within you right now. All right. I wish you a wonderful, prosperous, abundant day. Thank you for being here. It's such a pleasure to serve you. All right, everyone. Ciao, ciao for now.